Hello and welcome to Parveen Smith Celestial on this day. Today is the 29th of September 2014 and we are coming to the end of this month of September. Well, I'd like to share something with you here today, particularly as you've been asking about my recipes and indeed some of the things I've been putting on Facebook and something I've been sharing with you on the level of healthy foods. Now, I've been cooking since I was probably about 8 years old. My mother used to have us in the kitchens and start cutting onions, ginger, chilies and garlic ready to make some curries. Whether it be vegetarian or a tiny bit of chicken, or whatever it may be, or even a sabji, which is vegetables or vegetable curry, and that's what we would be doing. We'd be getting ourselves ready to prepare all the ingredients for my mother to come and teach us how to cook. So I've been doing this for quite a few years, I can say, and this is why I'd like to share with you further here that I'm going to be giving you some ideas of the stuffed peppers that we made, my mother and I made when she was here with me a good few weeks ago now. Basically what we did was we used leftover cooked rice. Now I know that some people say you shouldn't eat rice from the day before, but as long as it's been kept in the fridge after you've cooked it, it's absolutely fine and healthy and safe. And we used our previous night's cooked rice and we put peas in that. Basically the way we did this was we fried the onion and we had garlic, masala, which is garam masala, and we mixed this all together and fried this basically, and then we put it on low heat, actually, don't forget. And once we've got it all together, we added the peas, and peas are frozen peas, for example. And then once the mixture was cooked for us and put all the lovely flavours into it, and I use Himalayan salt as well, which is chunks of crystallised salt, okay, so it's not the refined salt that we buy from supermarkets, but rather the original salts. And then we basically let the mixture just cool down a tiny bit before we fill them into the peppers. And then we put them into the peppers as we slice the pepper in between like this. And they're quite large peppers, the ones that we use, as you can see from the pictures I posted on Facebook. And these peppers then were put in olive oil in a frying pan so that you could actually just see that the pepper was becoming golden brown or even like a burnt colour, because my mother, she does like them really quite dark cooked, so really nearly on burn sort of point of view. But nice golden colours going into a crispy colour, that's absolutely fine as well. And once we'd sort of let that cook, and we did actually put a lid on that as well, so the steam would help to cook it a little bit more. And then before you know it, within a few moments' time, that's your stuffed peppers cooked and ready for you. Now also, I'm going to share with you that I made some keema as well. So the keema is basically minced lamb. Okay, some people do use minced pork, but minced lamb is probably going to be the better tasting, should we say, for you. And again, what we do here is we chop the onions up, ginger, garlic and green chilies. They're your main ingredients for really nearly every single curry that you're going to make. But basically we fry the onions and the garlic together, and then when they've become golden brown, this is in olive oil, don't forget, we're trying to use as much healthy products as possible, and then we added the ginger and the chilies, so you get a really sort of pungent smell of chilies now. And don't forget, it can make you cough, so you need to have a window open as well nearby, and let the flavours of the aroma, should we say, just escape through the window, because otherwise your fire alarms could be going off within your house, okay, smoke detectors. But to avoid that, like I say, open the windows and keep all of the doors shut. It's quite common in our house, it does happen quite regularly. Then I'd like to share with you, once you've got your mixture together, you can put turmeric in, okay, which is actually very, very good at the moment because it's known to help people with Alzheimer's. Studies are showing that turmeric is very good for Alzheimer's, people with sort of mind problems, but also some people are saying also studies have been done that it's very, very good for people who have cancer as well. So it's a really sort of healthy, should we say, spice to use within your curries and any other foods that you may make. And also we put in this garam masala, so we give it a good stir at this time as well. Okay, and then we also put in some Himalayan salt to give it that bit of flavour. If you don't like too much salt, you don't put too much in basically. The smaller the crystallised bits that you put in of the salt would be better. And then chopped tomatoes go in that, so if you have got fresh chopped tomatoes, that's absolutely fine. But if you don't worry about it, because you can actually just use a tin of tomatoes as well. And then give that a good stir. Then, once it's become into a nice mixture or a paste almost, you can add a tiny bit of water into that as well if you want to make it just a tiny bit more, easy to manoeuvre around in the pan. You don't want it too thick. Then you can add some water and then add your minced lamb and stir it and just let it cook for a good, I would say, 20 minutes or so in quite a nice, not too high heat, but medium heat, and then let that cook thoroughly. Once it's cooked thoroughly, you can then put your peas in, your frozen peas again. If you've got fresh peas, that's even better. And then add the peas in, just put the lid back on and let them cook for a little bit longer, maybe 5 or 10 minutes more. Give them a good stir. As always, we do go back to the pan and give it a stir every now and again. And then you have got your cooked keema. Okay, how does that sound? And the third thing that I cooked as well with my mother was lentil curry. Now, you can use a variety of different lentils, but we used mung as well, which is a green lentil curry, okay? And basically here you can just give them a quick wash or even soak them for a little bit, but not necessarily really soak, but just give them a wash and then let them boil in a separate pan and put the water in. So for example, I don't usually use measurements, I've got to be honest to say this with you. I just usually sprinkle it in and I know that the taste is going to be absolutely fine. And don't forget, you do a taste at the end as well. And if you feel you haven't got enough of the salt, and you can add that in, but usually the other ingredients that I usually put together are usually quite accurate. So lentil curry, yes, make sure there is maybe in the pan, maybe so much of the lentil curry, just double that with water. So that much curry, that much water, and basically you're going to allow that to simmer, boil, and put a lid on it and just let that sort of bubble away. In the meantime, you still need to make your base for this, okay? And again, it comes back to onions, ginger, garlic, okay, and chilies. And green chilies are my favourite, but if you want to use a different coloured chilli, that's absolutely fine. Don't forget, they can be quite potent, and be careful that you don't hold on to the chilies for too long and then just rub your eyes with them, for example. Make sure you wash your hands regularly when using chilies as well, because they can be rather stingy and dangerous, yes. We've had a few experiences of those as well. Other than that, yeah, we're going to look at putting your turmeric, your garam masala and your Himalayan salt once again and give it that flavour. If you wanted to, you could put in some seeds as well. There's all different sorts of seeds that you can put in. Cumin seeds are usually quite common, and some people put cumin seeds in, and also other variety of seeds that you can put in just to give it a bit more pungent sort of, or a flavour really, is what we're looking at. Okay, cardamoms is another one that usually people would put into curries as well, especially the yellow lentil curry. Now, once you've cooked the curry, probably about 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so, let it sort of really simmer, boil, whichever you prefer. I think boil is usually more way of getting those lentils really cooking. And then you can sort of see, just by holding onto a spoon, and just see if the lentils will squash. And if they squash quite gently and easily, your curry is pretty much ready. Then you add your base to that with don't forget your chopped tomatoes as well within this curry, and then mix it all together. There you have. You have then your 3 curries, okay, that you can have for a beautiful meal, accompanied with boiled rice, for example, keeping it healthy, and your lovely salad as well, mixture of different varieties of salad. Let's just say you have your own choices. You'll know what sort of thing you want to put on top of your salad, and have that as well. You can also make some raita, which is yogurt, and sometimes it's really nice to make your own homemade yogurt. Okay, that's a show probably for another time, but my mother used to make homemade yogurt quite often when we were little. Don't tend to see much of it nowadays, but it's quite easy to make. And with that, you can also add a little bit of seasoning, salt and pepper, or a tiny bit of paprika or chili on the top as well, if you wanted to. And some people like to put mint in it as well, and that's absolutely fine. And see how that tastes for you. Okay, you can put a tiny bit of cucumber in this as well, if you really, really wanted to. You can just make it so varied, it's just so unbelievably wonderful, depending on what you've got in your kitchen cupboards as well, or in your fridge. Okay, so that is your particular message for today on Parveen Smith's Celestial, giving you the recipe of keema, stuffed peppers, and also you've had your lentil curry, and mung dal is what we made in particular, but the choice is yours, whichever lentil you want to use. I will be sharing lots more with you on Parveen Smith's Celestial. Stay tuned as always. Love to you all, and enjoy your curry time. Thank you.